We are live. Welcome. This is Attorney Broderick Brown. I'm a licensed attorney here in the great state of California. And today will be the final day of the breakdown of the Trevor Bauer restraining order hearing. And it came out this morning after the close of the hearing where Mr. Bauer exercised his Fifth Amendment right. The judge took a 5-minute break. Hey, what's up, Brendan? The judge took a 5-minute break and basically granted or denied the petitioner's request for a permanent restraining order. In essence, what she said was that she kind of got what she wanted, which was the judge referred it to the quote, bring the pain that she texted Mr. Bauer, and essentially that's what happened. Let me share my screen. I want to get to the ESPN article. 1 second. Brandon, what did you think? Did you think that it was a good decision? All right. Yeah, it is tough. It is tough because I honestly thought I'm surprised by this. I thought that it was going to get granted, but I'm not like the dominatrix, the kinky sex thing is far outside of my world, so I don't really know how that kind of goes down. But let's see what the judge said. All the consequences, and respondent did not exceed the limits that the petitioner set. And I think that the judge later on said something about referred to the quote, bring the pain. And so I guess having a black eye would be consistent with enduring a lot of pain during sex, getting choked out would be consistent with that. Obviously, that's contrary to what the victim alleged, but I think this is a tough case because ultimately we weren't in the room with them. It's a he said, she said, and there was a lot of evidence in the lead up, the text messages, the discussing the safe words that suggested that things would be really rough. But I'm surprised by this. But anytime you go to trial, whether or have a hearing, whether it's with the judge or a trial in front of a jury, there's a possibility that you may lose, even if you believe you have a strong case. Do I think he will be charged? That's a great question. I don't think so. I don't like her credibility was attacked so much, and she came off so, in my opinion, bad after the fact that I don't think he's going to be charged with any crime, at least immediately, because God knows what happens when the police are able to subpoena all of her text messages that she sent afterwards. I believe his attorneys got the text messages from the friend, cousin, and supervisor directly, not from her. So who knows who else she was messaging? Who knows what other messages she was sending that would be inconsistent with the statement she made in this hearing and with her declaration. I think it's a tough case because, quite honestly, even if there was a videotape, when you're in the moment with someone sexually, things could be said or suggested that only those two people may know. And there wasn't a videotape, And there's a lot of evidence on the lead up where you're discussing safe words, where she's talking about bringing the pain. They're contemplating what may be done. Um, yeah, I think it's tough. I think it's like a really tough case. I mean, he could be charged, but I think that he may beat it. And then there's a celebrity factor of, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball, and I believe that celebrities get the benefit of the doubt, even if sometimes they're aggressively prosecuted. But those are my thoughts. But you're right. Only time will tell. I don't believe there's a statute of limitations for sexual assaults in California. So this may be hanging over Mr. Bauer's head for quite some time. But at least from his perspective, at least he won this hearing, and this judge didn't find the alleged victim, to be that credible, and the evidence that she was able to see. She made the determination that essentially what happened was what essentially the alleged victim agreed to going in. And do I think he'll pitch? I think he should. There's no reason why he should continue to be suspended, because he's not facing any criminal charges. He just beat this. I mean, it's clear that she consented to some form. It's clear that she consented to have sex with him. She even says that. It's just that she says she didn't consent to the punches. I don't see a reason why he shouldn't be playing at this point. This is not a Deshaun Watson situation. Now, there's other cases out there. Maybe Major League Baseball suspends him going further a little bit, but I think that he should be allowed to play because he hasn't really done anything wrong according to the court, in my opinion. What do you think, Brandon? The other thing I want to discuss is that, yeah, I agree. The other thing I want to discuss is the Fifth Amendment, because his criminal case is so much better now, regardless of this judge's decision. But his case is better now that she testified than it was before this hearing, because you have all these people on the record, you have all this information, you already know that you can get into the witnesses, the alleged victim's credibility. I think it only helps his case, and now his criminal defense attorneys have a lot more information. And from a prosecution's perspective, they have the same information that they would have had going into charging him if they decide. And the fact that he pled the Fifth Amendment and didn't have to testify, or even didn't even have to plead the fifth to individual questions, the prosecution didn't gain any information on Mr. Bauer through this hearing. Now, I think that the stuff that came out about the prior restraining order in, I think, Cleveland, that the Washington Post put out, hurts potentially, but there's a chance that the judge would exclude that information from a sexual assault case anyway. And it's unclear whether or not the victim is even going to continue to cooperate after the fact that she lost this. What I'm interested to know is, will Mr. Bauer enter into a civil settlement with her just to kind of get an NDA and to put this under the rug? I don't know if that's going to be approached, but I would be interested to know whether or not he would just pay to make this go away at this point, even if he didn't do anything. Because, like, let's say he paid her $100,000 and he got a ironclad non-disclosure agreement, confidentiality. That would just be worth it, so that she's not going on TV and telling her side of the story and essentially clout chasing off of his name. But Yeah, I think the playoffs, it may be awkward when, let's say, the Dodgers get to the World Series. It may be awkward when he's pitching, and then they have to talk about why he was gone. I think if he gets suspended, that's the reason why. That Major League Baseball wants to avoid that because, like, I'm not a huge baseball fan, but I typically watch the World Series, so I'm very casual. Go A's, though. I mean, that's my team. But if I'm just watching the 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 World Series and they're talking about a sexual assault happening, I mean, um, or what happened in the past, that's going to cause me to Google it and it's going to look bad for the game. But those are my thoughts. I just want to get on real quick, man. I appreciate you, Brandon. You're the first person to join one of these chats and chime in. It makes it a lot easier to do these. We had some people in and out. We're making some progress. We're building. I may do some recaps on the R. Kelly case next week. And depending on if I can get a good source of information, I'm supposed to be in trial in 3 weeks. So if I'm in trial, I'm not going to be doing these. But I thought this was a good case because it was definitely not clear cut. And both attorneys had a lot to say. And clearly, Mr. Bauer's attorneys prevailed. They presented really a great argument. They didn't concede anything. They were able to impeach the alleged victim's character, call into question her credibility, the multiple times that she lied throughout the process or exaggerated throughout the process. And they did a phenomenal job, even if I didn't think that they were going to win. So, do I see him pitching with the Dodgers? I think he should be able to play. Like, I think we can't get to the point where we're suspending guys for when they haven't been charged with a crime after we've actually had a hearing so that we know a lot more information. And I think given the facts of this case, I think he should be playing. There's no reason why he shouldn't be playing. And I would be shocked if the players union would allow him to continue to be put on administrative leave. There's no reason why he shouldn't be pitching for the Dodgers as long as he's healthy. I mean, what more can he do at this point? Because there's no telling when criminal charges may come down. There's no telling, like it could take another year. So it's going to sit out another year. That makes no sense. So I think that he should be playing. It may be awkward when they're in the playoffs and, the announcers are talking about him, but he's done nothing wrong. And this isn't Deshaun Watson where there's 20 alleged victims. I think that if there was 20 women that were complaining about getting choked out without their consent and getting black eyes and scratches on their faces, I think that I would feel differently. But the fact that it's just one woman, I think that he should be allowed to play, in my opinion. What do you think, John? Yeah. So I mean, we'll see. I mean, we'll definitely see. I'm I'm happy for him because I know that like when you're facing these type of charges, it's stressful, and he's not really had the opportunity to tell his side of the story because anything he says will be used against him, and so that's got to be that it has to feel good to prevail, and it was clear that he was no longer um, harassing her. How long have I been a Dodger? I'm not a Dodgers fan. I'm an A's fan. Um, yeah, so yeah, I'm not a Dodgers fan at all. I've been to Dodger Stadium once. It was a great time. I don't eat hot dogs anymore. Else I would have got a Dodger dog, but I had a good time nonetheless. Are you a Dodger fan? Are John and Brendan? Are you guys Dodger fans? I believe so. So I mean, I believe it expires tomorrow, so we'll know soon. They may negotiate more time, but I think he should be playing, in my opinion. I think he should be playing. There's no reason why he should continue to sit out. The only thing that can happen is he could face criminal charges, and then Major League Baseball could address it at that time. But just because you're charged with the crime doesn't mean that you committed a crime. And we know enough evidence about how this happened that I think he should be playing, in my opinion. I'm not a Lakers fan, but I'm a huge LeBron James fan. I was a huge Shaq fan. So, I've cheered for Lakers. I love going to Staples Center at LA Live. It's so much different than it was back in the day. I can't wait to get down there whenever they have fans. I guess they had fans at the end of the year, but hopefully I'll get down there in 2022. Yeah, but I'm going to wrap this up, man. I appreciate John, Marvin, Brandon. I appreciate you guys coming in. Hopefully maybe I'll settle in on a regular streaming schedule, and I'll let you guys know. Man, this means a lot to have 3 people in here. Without you guys, I'd be talking to myself like I've done the last 2 days. I appreciate you guys. If something comes up more about this case, I'm going to post more videos, but salute to Mr. Bauer and his fine attorneys. They did an incredible job. In my opinion, they beat the odds. And, I hope that the alleged victim is able to find peace and able to find some justice, because she believes that she's been done wrong. And, it's been great to cover this last 2 days. I appreciate you guys. If you guys haven't subscribed, please like and subscribe. And that's going to end this chat. Salute to you guys. Peace.